After a year of personal health struggles and a subdued royal schedule, Princess Catherine emerged from her brief hiatus to make an incredibly poignant and symbolic return to the royal stage. This happened on the evening of July 8, 2025, when she graced the glittering state banquet held in honor of French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron, at none other than the grand and iconic Windsor Castle. The palace was buzzing with activity as global dignitaries and members of the royal family gathered in a refined display of diplomatic unity, symbolizing not only the strength of the UK-France relationship but also the quiet yet powerful resilience of the British royal family itself. Princess Catherine's return was nothing short of spectacular, marking her first state banquet appearance since 2023. With her entrance into the event, a collective hush fell over the room. Dressed in a breathtaking custom red gown by Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen, she was the embodiment of royal poise and elegance. The gown, with its graceful cape-like train and sculpted silhouette, accentuated Catherine's stature as the future queen. Yet, it wasn't just her fashion choice that turned heads. Her royal accessories told a deeper, more intimate story, a story about loyalty, trust, and the subtle yet undeniable shifting of royal legacies. Among her most significant adornments was the newly awarded Royal Family Order of King Charles III, pinned just above the Royal Family Order of Queen Elizabeth II. This rare and highly coveted royal accolade, which had been privately bestowed by the monarch himself, signified not just royal recognition but also an emblem of deep personal appreciation. As the second woman ever to wear this order, following Queen Camilla's debut of the honor in June 2024, Princess Catherine stood as a testament to the unwavering dedication and long-lasting contributions royal women make to the monarchy. However, while her resplendent appearance in the ballroom was the talk of the evening, not far from the palace, another unfolding drama was already causing a stir. Highgrove, the beloved royal residence once a symbol of King Charles's passion for horticulture and environmental stewardship, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Just as Princess Catherine was basking in the glow of her public triumph, the royal family was confronting a growing crisis of its own making. A staggering 11 out of 12 employees from the gardening team at Highgrove submitted their immediate resignations, citing what they described as a toxic work environment. This massive exodus of staff was a shock to royal insiders and the public alike, as Highgrove had long been considered an emblem of royal tradition and personal dedication. The abrupt departure of such a significant portion of the workforce raised several troubling questions regarding not just the management of the royal estate but also the very ethos of King Charles's personal realm. The very garden that had once stood as a reflection of his commitment to sustainable practices and royal care now appeared to be suffering from deep-rooted issues behind its meticulously pruned hedges. In a detailed report published by the Sunday Times, former Highgrove employees shared their experiences, laying bare a litany of grievances that ranged from underpayment and overwhelming workloads to allegations of mismanagement and poor treatment. The fact that such accusations emerged from the heart of the royal family's private domain, an area historically associated with calm, regal dignity, only added to the weight of the revelations. The King's Foundation, which oversees Highgrove, quickly launched an internal investigation into the matter, with an official statement aimed at refuting the accusations. The Foundation's defense emphasized its commitment to employee welfare, citing high satisfaction rates in internal staff surveys and relatively low turnover compared to national averages. It claimed that the staff at Highgrove had been appropriately compensated according to professional guidelines from the Royal Horticultural Society. Yet, while this rebuttal sought to ease public concerns, it also painted a picture of a rift between the public-facing charity that the King's Foundation had cultivated and the hidden tensions that were brewing just behind the scenes. The statement also pivoted to highlight the successes under the Foundation's stewardship, noting that Highgrove's operational profit had more than doubled since it assumed management in 2022. Additionally, it underscored the creation of a new educational facility aimed at preserving heritage skills, further solidifying Highgrove's role not just as a royal estate but as a vital center for learning and cultural preservation. Yet, despite these accomplishments, the deeply personal nature of the allegations against the very institution that had been built around the king's passions continued to haunt the royal household. As Princess Catherine stood poised at Windsor Castle, her tiara sparkling and her royal sash proudly bearing the insignia of the Royal Victorian Order, a stark contrast was emerging just miles away at Highgrove. The royal family's image as a bastion of tradition and service was being increasingly tested by this unsettling drama unfolding within their own ranks. For all the glamour of royal state dinners and diplomatic successes, this crisis raised fundamental questions about the inner workings of the monarchy and the lives of those who support it from behind the curtains. For King Charles, the challenges were now multifaceted. On the one hand, he was publicly championed as a king who had spent his life advocating for environmental causes and social change, but on the other, his personal legacy was now shadowed by these internal struggles. The king's foundation, while defending its practices, was undeniably on the back foot, and the mass resignation of Highgrove staff seemed to stand as a testament to deeper issues within the royal household. For many, the conflict between public image and private realities was more evident than ever before. And as if this internal conflict wasn't enough, the wider public debate surrounding Prince Harry and his financial entanglements with the royal family loomed over the monarchy's present state. While Princess Catherine and King Charles strived to project unity and stability, Harry's ongoing media appearances and his strained relationship with his family cast a cloud of uncertainty over the future of the crown. Public opinion had sharply divided. While some viewed the royal family's response to these controversies with sympathy, others felt that it was time for the monarchy to evolve, to let go of the past and make significant changes for the future. Younger generations, who were more attuned to issues of workplace fairness, equality, and transparency, were increasingly questioning the way the monarchy was operating, not just as a symbol of tradition, but as an institution that should align with contemporary values. In this delicate moment of transition, what was at stake was not just the public perception of the monarchy but its very future as it navigated the rocky terrain of modern societal expectations. The decisions made in response to the Highgrove scandal would undoubtedly shape the course of King Charles's reign and possibly the legacy of the royal family for generations to come. As Princess Catherine's poised figure dominated the stage in Windsor, high above the clouds of the royal estate, the seeds of change were being planted, perhaps unwittingly, by those very same hands that once delicately tended the royal gardens of Highgrove. This clash of old versus new, of tradition versus innovation, was setting the stage for the next great chapter of the British monarchy. In this moment of upheaval, it's clear that the monarchy, for all its beauty and tradition, is not immune to the trials of modern life. How King Charles and his family choose to respond to these crises, internally and publicly, will determine the monarchy's path forward in an ever-changing world.